body positivity movement is messed up on both sides of the coin, and in my opinion, neither side is helping anyone move forward in any constructive way. And while this video may be controversial, that's not the point of me doing it. I just see it over and over affecting a lot of the patients I work with and a lot of people I know and care about, and I don't fair. So first of all, let's look at the whole mess of the situation. Like everything as humans, we try and make this issue black and white when it's really not. There's a whole lot of gray, but people get stuck to their one side opinion and miss the other side. So what do I agree with? I do agree that you should love yourself no matter what size you are, no matter how healthy you are. In fact, good health starts with loving yourself. That is indisputable. And I think everyone should love themselves, whether they're healthy weight or whether they're 500 pounds or more. But just because you love yourself, it also doesn't necessarily mean it's healthy to accept a life of lesser potential. We should all want to live our best life while we're here, and accepting just poor health that we might be able to change, and I'm going to get to in a minute why not everyone can necessarily change their health and their weight, accepting that isn't necessarily healthy either. So let's look at a couple of factors here. First of all, loving yourself is being a great role model for your kids and those around you. No matter who you are, if you can be happy in your own skin, that's one of the best things we can teach our kids. I have 2 young daughters and I want them to be happy in their own skin no matter what. I don't want them to need someone else to make them happy. I don't want them to feel like they need love from someone else to make them happy. I want them to be happy. But I would also feel like I failed them as a parent if they didn't understand the health risks if they let themselves become obese. And so if you are overweight and you have kids and you have family that looks up to you and you're a role model, would it not also be extra valuable to those people to love yourself as you are, but also say, hey, you know what? We all have challenges and we all have bullies in life. Sometimes our bullies are external people. Sometimes our bully and our challenge is our own body and our own health. And I'm going to go on a journey and lose this weight and show you that I can accept who I am, but I can also want more for myself, and therefore you should want the same thing as well. Now, when we look at why people are overweight, there's so many more factors, and just often I'll see, and some friends of mine and people I follow will often say this, well, people are just overweight because they eat bad food and they don't exercise. Is that true for some people? Sure it is. And if that's you and you're watching this, try and find what you value in life and link that value to losing that weight so that you can become healthy. Because if you are a parent, a mother, a father, it's important to your kids that you're around for a long time, that you can have the energy to keep up with them and hang out with them, and you don't want to die prematurely if you can help it. Now, of course, accidents can happen that are out of your control, but it's not fair on your kids if you die at 65 from heart issues because you ate a poor diet all your life. So again, though, you shouldn't hear that and then be feeling guilty about yourself. You can still love yourself for all the things we've done in the past that we might call mistakes and say, how can I learn from that and get better? But there's other reasons people are overweight. I deal with a lot of people who are struggling with weight because their thyroid is all messed up because they have a lot of gut issues and leaky gut problems. And it might be because they have parasites or Lyme disease or mold issues. All of these things can create weight gain. So telling someone that they're fat because they eat badly isn't necessarily going to help anyone, because some of these people I work with eat a cleaner diet than most other people, yet they still have weight issues because of their underlying root cause. And the people who are overweight because they eat poorly, it's like telling a smoker, oh, you know that's going to kill you. Of course they know. They're not smoking because they want to die of cancer. They're smoking because it's got an addictive hold on them. And a lot of sugar and foods and things like that do the same thing to people. So that's where I think the other side of body positivity, the shaming and the fat shaming, does no one any good. I don't care how heavy you are. You shouldn't be shamed for how heavy you are. But again, I do agree that accepting who you are and loving yourself also doesn't mean accepting an inferior life. So how do you make the change if you are battling a sugar addiction, or you can't just break out of this poor diet and lack of exercise routine? Well, all change comes with AWA, awareness, willingness, ability. First, let's just be aware. Let's add as is things how they are. Again, you can love yourself for how you are, but if you stand on those scales and you're 5'4" and you're 350 pounds, we have to as is the situation. Your long-term health is at risk at that weight, and there's a better than average chance that you will not make it to 70, 80, 90 years of age. And so if you want to be around for your kids and your grandkids, that awareness alone hopefully is going to be enough to trigger you to then be willing to make the change. Then it comes down to the ability. Now, again, if you've got there because you just eat a poor diet and you don't exercise, let's just start taking small baby steps like a chihuahua eating an elephant one bite at a time. But maybe the ability to lose that weight might mean working with a doctor to be able to find out, have I got mold toxicity or parasites or something else keeping me trapped? Or it might mean a mental health practitioner. What if you were attacked when you were younger and subconsciously decided, I'm going to put on weight so that I'm less desirable to be attacked? Or maybe there was other things in your childhood that made you feel not worthy, and subconsciously you keep that as a self-fulfilling prophecy by staying overweight, and you say, see, I'm not worthy. So there's so many other factors to it than just telling someone and shaming them for being overweight. But again, the media doesn't help us when we put someone who's 300 or 400 pounds on the cover of a magazine and say, this is the new health. There is no dispute that when you look at photos and videos and things of America and any country in the Western world, Australia is getting just as bad where I'm from, but look at America in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you barely saw anyone who was overweight. Now we see it all over the place. And again, you can attack me for that, but I'm not shaming, I'm not judging, because I know what a lot of these people are going through because I work with these people every day. But we're not doing anyone justice if we just say, well, because this is now common, we're going to call it normal. No, we have to get to the root cause of why this has happened. A lot of it starts with stopping the food industry being able to poison us with what they call food, stopping the herbicide and pesticide injury, just pouring that garbage all over our food. We're being bathed in a toxic soup, which messes up everyone's hormones, creates all sorts of weight gain there. See, there's so much that's out of our control, but could be in our control if we forced our governments and leaders to actually care about our health. So again, let's go swim in the gray area. Let's get out of the black and white of loving ourselves also means just accepting poor health. But let's also get out of the other side of the extreme of saying, you're just overweight because you eat badly and don't work out. I think this video covers enough reasons why neither of those things are accurate or useful. So let's all help each other. If you're someone who is healthy, you're not going to help people by yelling at them and shaming them. But if you are overweight, don't let yourself hide behind this common growing thing of by loving yourself how you are means you shouldn't do anything about it, because that's equally as dangerous and it is going to shorten your life, and it teaches such bad habits to your kids and grandkids. But instead of feeling guilty, what's going to help them is them seeing, oh, mom or dad was overweight. They put in all this work to lose that weight. They're going to learn that it's really hard to do it, so don't get there in the first place. But it can also be done if you need it to be done. So if you've made it this far through the video, I appreciate you listening to my rant, and I'd love if you hit that subscribe button so you can follow all the videos where I share a lot of health tips and tactics to allow you to not be stuck in that obesity range and poor health and things like that. And of course, thank you so much for all your time, and I'll see you on my next video.